Sir, how do you feel about gay marriage getting passed? Is that gay porn? Good Lord. You're a big fan.
Oh. Oh wow, somebody actually clicked on the video. Are you struggling with not knowing who Mark Normand is? Well, you've come to the right place. In this video, I'm gonna teach you how you can start knowing who Mark Normand is. All this for 3 easy payments of like, comment, and subscribe, plus free shipping and handling. Subscribe now and start getting your life back today.
This one is, so hopefully one day I get to open for Nick Cannon. Cool coat. Talking to the dog. Hold on, let me find some clean material. Hell, he beat Kobe. That joke, like him, didn't land. Thanks a lot, I'm Kevin Hart. Have a good night, thank you.
Close your eyes for a second. In your mind's eye, picture the stereotype of a stand-up comedian. Hold this in your mind's eye. Imagine their face. Imagine their voice. Imagine their delivery. Imagine their face. When you hear me snap my fingers, pay close attention to the joke that you imagine them saying. Is your comedian performing in an affected sing-songy type of voice? Was there material related to bad airline food or perhaps an annoying spouse? Chances are the comedian you created would be indistinguishable from Mark Normand, but only on the surface.
I drink too much. I actually got let go from a job for being drunk at work. Yeah, my boss called me and he goes, "Get in here, Mark. It's clear you're a high-functioning alcoholic." I was like, wow, how do you know I was also high?
Mark has a very distinct vocal delivery that is instantly recognizable. Some describe it as akin to the narrator of a used car commercial or the cadence of a 1980s clean comedy hack. However, the latter couldn't be further from the truth, because the genius of Mark Normand's comedy is that he's punchier than your alcoholic dad and tighter than your 18-year-old sister.
Good to be here. I Ubered here. I had a real chatty driver. Oh, don't you hate that? Wouldn't it be nice if there was a small talk option on the app? You know? But there isn't, so you gotta really find your own way to quiet the guy. I like to scare him, you know? He's like, "Hey, how about this traffic? What do you think's causing this?" I'm like, "Probably the Jews." He's like...
By the way, can you see the script? According to Wikipedia, Mark's mom was in labor for the entire first year of his life, leading doctors to debate the question of at which stage of out the pussy does life begin, ultimately deciding that, much like a new car depreciating after leaving the lot, Mark's birthday would begin when his feet cleared the uterine wall. During this time, Mark's mom continued to exercise in the effort to eliminate muscle loss and bed sores, often taking long walks around the hospital with Mark dangling helplessly between her legs, feet first. That was an attempt at humor. I'm sorry. I wish I was funny. Mark Normand was born September 18th, 1983 in New Orleans, making him 36 years old today. Mark's parents were both ex-hippie military types. His father worked for the Judge Advocate General as a military lawyer and was described as being an all-around great guy, but very passive due to a troubled upbringing. Mark describes his mother as a
foodie cunt.
Mark's father purchased the mansion in a predominantly poverty-stricken area of New Orleans.
Because my parents were always working, because the house was so big they had to afford it. We had roaches and mice, and I remember we didn't have lights in the house. We had those like mechanic lamps in your room. It was a weird way to grow up, but then the back half was serene. It was like a bed and breakfast, and we had traveling musicians and like Asian businessmen coming in.
As a child, Mark experienced a proclaimed 5 to 6 robberies per year, citing that the criminal activity was most likely due to the fact that the Normands were seen as a rich white family, when in reality, nothing could be further from the truth. This little fucker.
So we got robbed constantly. I walked in on a couple robberies as a kid. My alarm would go off at like 2 in the morning as like an 8-year-old. You just know there's a guy in your living room scrapping around.
Oh, wow.
It was banana. I think that's why I'm so squirrely, because that really fucked with me.
Mark consistently had his bike stolen from him by neighborhood bullies. With Mark's parents working most of the time to keep up with their expenses, he was flied. Mark was left in the care of his cross-dressing burlesque by night nanny, Enos. With Mark's father having a passive personality, in addition to working long hours, Enos became an important role model for Mark, teaching him important things like how to date women, how to fight, and how to stand up for himself against bullies.
One time I was riding home from summer camp, and these 3 street toughs coming up next to me, 3 of them like, hey man, let us try your bike. And I was like, I'm good, no thank you. And they're like, come on. They're doing their back tire or their front tire against my back, that move, starting to skid me out a little bit. So I go, all right. And these kids are 17, I'm probably like 13. I remember I kept my hand on the handle, and he got on it, and he's like, and he just brushed my hand away and just went, check ya, and rode off. And I was like, gah! So I ran home crying. And I got there, and Enos is like, what happened? I'm like, a couple kids took my bike. And it was like the 4th time. So he's like, f that. Get in the van. I'm like, I'm good. I'm so defeated. It's so emasculating. You feel like a bitch. So I was like, I'm good. He's like, get in the van. We're driving around, and we go some back streets, and we see these kids on a stoop, like, taking it apart, because you gotta camouflage it a little. He's like, is that your bike? I'm like, yeah. I'm slunched down in shotgun. Like, yeah, it's my bike. Let's just get out of here. F it. Abort. Walks up to these guys, and he's wearing high heels, a wig, and like a V-neck, and he looks weird. It's the 90s. And they're all going, ah! They all lose it, because they're like, look at this they're all going crazy, and they're flipping out and calling him names and stuff. And this guy was stone cold, and he goes, that's not your bike. And they go, what are you gonna do about it? And this is like 5 kids with tools, And he goes, I'm gonna take it back. And they were like, I don't think you are, or whatever. And I remember he put his hand on the middle bar of the bike just to kind of see what would happen. Looked him in the eye, yanked it, and he said, that's what I thought. Threw the bike over his shoulder, walked to the van, slid the door open, threw it in, closed the door, we drove home. Unbelievable! I mean, talk about a 13-year-old seeing that's like, oh, that's what a man is. That changed my life.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I never wrote it again, mind you.
Unfortunately, Enos was murdered in cold blood when the man he was having sex with found out that he had a penis. This is all real. As early as elementary school, Norman found that he took great pleasure in telling jokes as a concept. He credits his love of comedy to the fact that the art form heavily contrasts his relationship that he had with his parents, where they seldom laughed at his jokes or showed any sign of humor towards him at all.
My parents are weird. I don't know if you noticed, but I can't make eye contact. I've been doing it pretty good, but yeah, I don't know how to connect.
Did they do that with you as well? They don't connect with you?
Yeah, they're like military, tough, they provide it and all that, but I think that's why I like comedy, because, the audience laughs and you go, hey, we're feeling this. There's something happening here.
Right.
And I like the truth of comedy, because you go, okay, I'm not crazy. We're all agreeants.
Yeah.
Because a laugh is kind of an agreeance in a weird way.
Mark moved to New York City at the age of 23 with $400 to his name and a dream in his pocket. During this time, he would experience being mugged a lot. He would get blackout drunk and wake up to find a bunch of dudes rifling through his pockets, stealing things like his money and even his joke books. During one said mugging, an instance of when stereotypes go wrong occurred.
I fell asleep on the subway. I went like 4 stops past mine in Brooklyn. I got out and I was like, I'll walk it. It's a nice night. I see 5 guys in the corner, right out of stencil casting, shooting dice, thugged out guys on the corner, drinking 40s. And I go, I'm going to cross the street. These guys look a little shady. And I walk across the street, and now an older guy's coming to her, white beard, big older black guy. And he gets up to me, and I had an old iPod. He goes, give me that radio. And I go, it's not a radio. Not thinking that would turn him away. And he goes, just give it to me. And I go, I don't think so. And he grabs at it, so I grab at it. Now we're tugging, and he picks me up, and he's slamming me against a business, like, when the metal gate closes, that pow, pow. And I'm kicking him, I'm punching him, and I think he was on PCP or something. And before I know it, those 5 guys run over and just beat the shit out of him. I'm talking, he hits the ground, they're kicking him in the face, and I'm just like, and I grab my iPod and I get out of there.
So those 5 guys helped you?
They saved my life, yeah.
Holy shit.
I talked to a cop about it like a month later, and he was like, oh, those were drug dealers, and they can't have some white kid getting killed in the neighborhood, so they had to make a choice. And I was like, wow, thank God for drugs.
During his early career in 2007, Mark befriended a young and, at the time, completely unknown Amy Schumer. Amy then went on to sponsor Mark's first ever comedy special.
Okay. You're gonna be so good. I don't regret this. I didn't try to back out. Okay.
In 2013, Mark made his first appearance on the Conan O'Brien show, Conan O'Brien.
I go to a lot of bars. My friend actually works at a gay bar, so I'll go there from time to time, get a free drink, maybe a compliment. And my guy friends are blown away by this. They're like, dude, you go to gay bars? That is weird. If some gay guy ever hit on me, I don't know what I would do. How about you just not have sex with them?
He would then go on to make appearances annually on the Conan O'Brien show, Conan O'Brien. Despite his claim that each time he went on, Conan seemed to have no idea who the he was.
Done the show 9 times or 8 times, but never remembers me. We had a little banter on the couch a little bit. And I don't take it personally. I mean, I'm there for 5 minutes once a year.
Mark has had 2 comedy specials. The first being Amy Schumer Presents Mark Normand, Don't Be Yourself. And most recently, Out to Lunch, which premiered on YouTube during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Like, I was on the subway recently. I was watching an interracial couple make out. I was just staring at them. And the guy next to them caught me and he goes, what the hell? I see you staring at them. What are you, racist? I was like, what? Racist? No, I'm a creep. Well, what are you talking about? I'm hard. What? I'm not a racist. I'm aroused.
If you live in New York City, you may have seen Mark Normand zipping around on his moped.
Manhattan is 14 miles long, 2 miles wide. It's just moped city. And I'm the only guy out there. I feel like I beat the system. I'm jumping from spot. I did 6 sets the other night, just jumping around on a moped.
Really?
Yeah, it's the best.
Or maybe you saw him talking to his best friend, Jerry Seinfeld, who, when asked which new and upcoming comics people should pay attention to, had this to say.
And the guys I look for are the hardcore crazy guys. Or they know the history, they know Klein, they know, the heritage of the profession. And Mark Normand is one of those guys, so I like him. Keep an eye out for him.
With the events of COVID-19, Mark decided to document himself doing various forms of Corona comedy, where he took to the streets, telling jokes to random people.
Because the clubs are closed, and everybody needs a good chuckle. Right, ma'am? Kevin Durant got tested positive for coronavirus, NBA star. Magic Johnson said, you'll be fine. Magic Johnson said, you'll be fine. Yeah, thank God you guys are high. The first animal to go extinct after all this, gonna be the social butterfly.
That one is really...
Were they Chinese? Hey, the Corona bat. He's the new AIDS monkey.
He also performed episodes of what he called Park Normand, where he would perform stand-up in various forms of parks, like a trailer park and a parking lot and a park.
Here we go. Comedy. Corona, it's a bitch. Corona's been so long. It feels like the check engine light. At first you're scared of it, then after a while you're like, fuck it, I gotta go to work. Oh, thank you. I'll flash you later. The worst part is that's my Uber driver. He's really running up a tab here. That guy's got a shit. It's like, I got a shit, but I don't want to get up because he's going to say something. Maybe he doesn't. Okay, maybe he won't. Oh, shit, he said it. I feel like you came here just to hear the N-word. It's like, all right, well, I'll just send you a voicemail. How about Ellen, huh? She's a cunt.
Mark is a smart, modern gentleman, establishing himself on all the major social media platforms. Mark started his YouTube channel way back in 2008, just like Shane Dawson.
Nigga!
Posting his first video called Mark Normand on Cop Movie Cliches.
At the end, they made it foiled a big drug ring, and they're in the warehouse with all the bags of coke. And there's always one cop. There's always one cop to pull out a knife, stab one of the bags, and go, "It's pure. It's pure. It's pure. You just took a hit. You're on duty, officer. You're doing drugs. What is it, Studio 54? Who's driving this squad car back?"
As of 2020, Mark has 112,000 subscribers on YouTube and 220 followers on Instagram, where he posts clips of his stand-up and humble brags about how he bangs eights.
All right, this isn't working for me. Stop.
What? No good? What's the problem?
I personally think Mark is at his strongest on Twitter, where all 158,000 of his followers get a daily dose of Mark doing commentary on current events and shower thoughts. Here are some of my favorites. In conclusion, I think Jerry Seinfeld was right on the money when he said that we should pay attention to Mark Normand. His delivery is unique, entertaining. Oh wait, no, you can just hand him to me. Don't throw him. Yeah, just so I can read this without having to look at the camera. His delivery is unique, entertaining, and effective, complemented generously by his tight and witty writing. Outside of his act, his incredible timing and unique improvisational skills put him in a league of his own. Working on this video has easily solidified Mark Normand as one of my top 10 favorite comedians. And I'd like to send this one off with my favorite clip when he visited a Cleveland morning show.
Studio, it's good to have you
Hey,
here.
good to be here. It's a pleasure. I'm a little hungover, a little gay.
Very happy to be here with you too.
All right.
No.
Sorry, just hiding my erection. I've been farting it up in the green room, and I think
You were just trying to be polite.
We call it hot boxing. Really soaking it all in, because the smell of your own farts, for some reason, is enjoyable. If you farted, it'd be weird. But if I fart, I enjoy it. I don't know.
No woman would ever say something like that.
No,
No.
you guys are more of maybe a quee thing.
Oh my gosh.
But,
okay. You live in New York City now, but you're from New Orleans.
Yeah, wow, well done. You read my Grindr bio. When I bought my apartment, that's when they actually started answering my phone calls. But hey, that's why I'm a comedian, because I got to get love somewhere. Whoops, sorry, is that a Me Too? All right.
So, but for you, you're young. So getting into this business
Black don't crack.
Getting into this business and
I'm 35, not that young. But, not on the Viagra yet. Or am I? Who knows? I like to snort it.
Thanks for watching. Which comedian would you like to see me do next? Leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up button below, because it really helps me with the algorithm and gets more people to see this video. Please subscribe to the channel.
Thanks a lot. I'm Kevin Hart.
And thanks so much for watching. Bye. Bye.
Woo! That is a miscarriage on wheels. Holy hell.
I'd like to give a very important thank you to my Twitch fam. I'd like to thank for their undying support Beetle Goose, Everlasting Brushstrokes, Cyanide, Jose V. Goat, Dozens, The Flying Kruger, Alcerex, Rizzer J, Codename Key, Averad, and Captain Bapples. I really appreciate you. I'm Cody Ko. Bye.
I think my weirdness has hurt me with the gals. I'm seeing somebody now, but boy, I was a bad dater. I went on a blind date once. Right when the girl saw me, she goes, "Hey, I bet we'd have really cute kids." I was like, "All right, I bet we'd have great sex." And she goes, "Whoa, slow down." I was like, slow down. You're 9 months ahead of me.